So what I'm trying to set is a scene of extreme difficulty when the Muslims first experienced Ramadan. And in the middle of that, Allah told them, and then by an echo told all of us forever, يُرِيدُ اللَّهُ بِكُمُ الْيُسْرِ. Allah wants ease for you. Allah doesn't want difficulty for you. Somebody could have said, if you wanted ease for us, it could have been, Ramadan could have been just one weekend, it would have been easier, right? Or if I can't make it, if I can't fast in Ramadan, I can just feed one person, you know, and that would be good enough to make it up, and that's good enough. That would have been a lot easier. How come Allah is saying He just made it harder, and then He said He wants ease for you, and He doesn't want difficulty for you? So the first thing I want to do is take a couple of minutes and help us understand that. How come Allah said that? How come He did that for us? See, the thing is, Allah has a sunnah, and He says, وَلَن تَجِدَ لِسُنَّةِ اللَّهِ تَبْدِيلًا. You cannot find a change in the way Allah does things. Allah has a way of doing things, and He's created a pattern, a fitrah for this life, for us. And in that fitrah, there are some principles. Easy principles that even Muslim, non-Muslim, everybody understands is gravity is a principle. If I take my phone and let it go, it's going to drop to the ground. It's a principle. You know, if I'm going to drive recklessly and I'm not going to look both ways or not check my rearview mirror, I'm going to crash into something. It's a principle. You can't break the rule. If I set fire on something, it's going to burn. It's a principle. The same way there are spiritual principles and there are life principles. And one of those life principles is you have to go through difficulty to get to ease. So for example, once you have a job, life will get easier. But to get to the job, you have to go through a tough education. And you have to go through some hard work before you can get to the job. You know, enjoying the crop is easy. But to get to the point where the farm is ready, you have to do a lot of labor on the land for the whole year before you get to the crop. You know, so everything that's worth it, everything that brings about joy, success, ease in this life, it's not free. You have to go through a pathway of difficulty to get to it. That's just how life is. And if you choose to live easy now, so if somebody says, I don't want to study, man, I just want to take it easy at school, right? They don't want to study. They want to skip classes, which is the easy route. Well, if you choose ease now, you're guaranteed difficulty in the future. That's just the rule. If you want ease, you got to go accept difficulty, embrace it, deal with it, develop a tough mindset so you can get ease down the road. And Allah Azza wa Jal instills that into us, especially in the month of Ramadan. This may be difficult, it may be challenging. Physically, your body's not used to depriving itself from nutrition for this many hours. It's not like you're on a different work schedule. You still have, maybe some people even have more responsibilities in Ramadan than outside of it, right? There are people that, they go to the office and like, I gotta have my coffee. I can't think straight. And these are the same people that are now, they haven't had coffee for a long time. And they're still functioning. They're still surviving. So it's not easy. But one meaning of that is, miraculously, Allah makes this month easier. Like fasting in this month is easier than any other time of the year. For those of you that fast outside of Ramadan, if you fast a week after Ramadan, 2, 3, 4 days after Ramadan, if you fast, I can guarantee you the energy, the momentum, the capability you have during Ramadan is not going to be the same outside of Ramadan. Allah has put something special inside of it. But the other thing that Allah is doing here very beautifully is that Allah is teaching you and me that it might seem like this is hard, but I'm preparing you for ease down the road in your life. So the question then becomes, what is that ease? I gave you the example of a student who's working hard, going through difficulty, and he's going to have the ease of having a nice job. He's going to have an ease of, being able to make an income, et cetera, right? But that's in the worldly sense. What does Allah mean by the difficulty of this month? And it's actually setting us up for ease down the road. Allah intends ease for us, meaning the intention is down the road forever, you should have an easy life. Well, the answer to that perhaps comes from the other phrasing in this ayah, the second and third phrasing. And the second phrasing is, لِتُكْمِلُوا الْعِدَّةِ, so you complete the count. You complete the count. Meaning, Allah intends for me to go through this 1 month training, and He wants me to complete it. Now, I want you to think about that. Fasting could have been 5 days or 3 days every month, or 2 days every month. And in 3 days every month, and 10 months, we're done with 30 fasts. But he put them together consecutively, right? You can call this an intensive training program. And when you look at the psychology and the development of intensive training, rigorous training programs, when you're put in those kinds of hardcore kinds of programs, they're meant to train you physically, mentally. They're supposed to transform you. That's what the military does, for example. They go through intensive, rigorous training programs, or fire departments do it, or police officers do it. Or, for example, athletes, before their season begins, they have sprint trainings, right? Daily, they got to hit it hard to be able to make certain progress and transformations. This is something Allah Azza wa Jal gave us so long ago that if you really want to have ease in your life, you've got to make some changes. And change is a really hard thing to bring into life. Like, we keep talking about changing our habits and they don't change, right? So Allah puts something in our life cycle every year where definitely our eating habits, our sleeping habits, our speaking habits, our social habits, all of them are definitely changed in this month. So we're going through this training program. And by the end of it, we've experienced some level of transformation. We were able to make a change. This is really powerful because some people, they start believing about themselves, man, I can never change. I keep talking about changing. I do it for 2-3 days and then I give up. All right, I get started and then I lose momentum, right? But Allah doesn't let you lose momentum in Ramadan. He says, finish the count. لِتُكْمِلُوا الْعِدَّةِ. And every one of us is going at it. You could be lazy in everything else, and alhamdulillah, you're still finishing your month of Ramadan. You're still going through it. Whether you're motivated or not, tired or not, you're still going to fast the entire time. You're still going to keep up with your prayers. And this is a remarkable thing. It proves to you and proves to me that we are capable of going through this. We're capable of it, which means if we're capable of it in the hardest circumstances, which is Ramadan, then keeping up with it outside of it should be way easier. So somebody who was having a hard time praying 5 times a day, and they said, you know what, in Ramadan, I'm going to make this change. I'm fasting, I'm going to pray 5 times. They proved to themselves for 30 straight days they can keep up with it, right? Which means they formed a new habit. And they did it under tougher circumstances. So that means after that, it becomes easier for them. Maybe before Ramadan, getting up for prayer was really hard, but now Allah has made that easy for you. You see? So that the first phrase is connected to that ease because it is only after training that things get easier. Some of you are into athletic training, or sports and things like that. When you first start doing your cardio reps or whatever else, you're running out of steam. You can't even keep up. You're grabbing your knees, you're halfway in ruku on the track, But then once you keep up, you're shocked at yourself. You're shocked at how much your stamina has increased. How remarkably Allah has created the human body to be able to endure more and more. The tougher you put it through rigorous exercise, the more discipline you put it through, the stronger it gets. That's what Allah has done. So the same thing is true of our faith. The more every fast is actually making us spiritually stronger. Like, you just think of a 1%, 0.5% improvement in yourself by one fast. Now it's moved on to 1%, then it's moved on to 1.5%. You're actually remarkably making a change in yourself. Physically, spiritually, taqwa is increasing. It's becoming easier and easier for you to not even think about the food. The first day, it's going to be so hard. Oh my God, I'm so thirsty already. Second day, third day, it's okay. You feel it, but you're not even thinking about it because you've developed an endurance. Obeying Allah, despite your discomfort, has become normal. It's become easier. يُرِيدُ اللَّهُ بِكُمُ الْيُسْرَ وَلَا يُرِيدُ بِكُمُ الْعُسْرَ وَلِتُكْمِلُوا الْعِدَّةَ. And all of this is towards one ultimate goal. And that ultimate goal is twofold. On the one side, Allah describes وَلِتُكَبِّرُوا اللَّهَ عَلَى مَا هَدَاكُمْ. One of the most beautiful phrases in this ayah. And that's what I really wanted to emphasize today for myself and all of you. So that, Allah says, and this was given to you so that you can declare Allah's greatness based on how He guided you. So you can declare Allah's greatness based on how He guided you. Now, what in the world does that mean? It means a few things. First of all, declaring Allah's greatness for the Muslim is the phrase Allahu Akbar, right? That's how we declare Allah's greatness. So, of course, when the month of Ramadan is over, we celebrate by declaring Allah's greatness. And when we're walking to the Eid prayer, we're all declaring Allahu Akbar, La ilaha illallah, Allahu Akbar, walillahi alhamd. You've done that since childhood. You remember you're walking to the prayer, you're talking about how much greater Allah is. But have you ever connected that to what does that have to do with Ramadan? All of Ramadan, Allah was greater for you. Allah was greater than your thirst. Allah was greater than your hunger. Allah was greater than your discomfort. You lived Allahu Akbar for 30 days and you graduated. And now you get to now those words mean something. Now they have real meaning. So now when you're walking and you're celebrating the words Allahu Akbar, you've demonstrated that in your life, right? So now what Allah is saying is, as you are saying that coming out of Ramadan, you lived Allahu Akbar in Ramadan and you're coming out of it saying Allahu Akbar. What you're saying is, now that I've proven to myself that I made Allah a greater priority than every one of my human needs, I disciplined all of my human needs and made Allah a greater priority, I am now capable to get out of Ramadan and carry on living Allahu Akbar. Because outside of Ramadan, it's way easier. The requirements are way easier. There's way less restriction on what I can eat and what I can do, right? And so this is actually the ultimate goal of Ramadan, is that we come out of it living Allahu Akbar, actually. Now, what does that have to do with ease? And that's the last thing I'll share with you today.